Today I'm gonna be putting some TikTok makeup hacks to the test, but these aren't just any old makeup hacks that someone random shared. These are tips that celebrity makeup artists shared that they use on their clients. So there's definitely more merit and expertise behind these techniques. So on one side of my face, I'm going to do my makeup like I normally would, and on the other side, I'm going to follow the celebrity makeup artist tips. And of course, I will be following all these tips using budget-friendly products. So let's get into it, but first, if you're new here, hi, my name is Miranda. Welcome to my channel where we talk all things budget beauty. If that sounds interesting to you, then become the newest member of the Slashed Squad by hitting subscribe and the bell icon. So my first two tips are from Melissa Murdoch. She's probably one of my favorite celebrity makeup artists to follow on TikTok because she does not gatekeep her tips. If you're unfamiliar, Melissa is Selena Gomez's makeup artist. She does her red carpet looks, she does her music video looks, and she has so much knowledge to share. So this first tip has to do with under eye concealer. Let's just hear it straight from her.
You want a nice brightened up under eye? I'm a celebrity makeup artist. I'm gonna show you how to do it. Step one, apply a thin layer of concealer that completely matches your natural skin tone. So nothing that is lighter. We want it to blend in seamlessly to our foundation. By the way, this is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Concealer in Light 60N, and I'm using the Delium Tools 785 brush. Now I'm taking a concealer that is quite a bit lighter than my skin tone. I'm gonna let it sit there for just a second, and then I'm going to start patting that in so that the coverage remains and that brightness remains right at the inner corner of the eye, making sure we get this little dark spot by the nose. And then at the very edge of that, I will blend it out under the rest of the eye. Sure, you've seen colored powders, and this is exactly what they're for. I'm using the BK Beauty A506 brush, which is kind of an angled shape. This is a light pink powder from Huda Beauty called Cherry Blossom Cake. And I'm just gonna pat it right on top of that lighter concealer, right at this inner corner of the eye. I prefer not to powder out here because I have fine lines, but you could wisp the powder out there and also get a little bit of a brightening effect if that is not an issue for you.
First of all, love that she's using ColourPop. I have the exact same concealer that I'm gonna be using. Mine is in the shade Light 50W, which matches the ColourPop foundation that I'm wearing today. So it should really blend in seamlessly. So there are a couple ways that I like to do my under eyes. Sometimes I just like to go in with a color correcting brightener like the Milani Supercharged Under Eye Tint. But if I am using concealer and I'm doing a full beat, I will typically go for a concealer that is slightly lighter than my skin tone. This is the Morphe 2 Hide and Peak Concealer in Peak of Peach. That is a mouthful. And I do go for more peachy shades for my under eye areas to equalize the darkness. So I know we've all moved on from like the triangle application. So I've got one dot near the inner corner and then the other dot in my outer corner. And I do already have eye makeup on, so I'm just gonna try to be careful with this. And then from here, I just go ahead and blend that out. So that's where I am now before and after, definitely brightened. And then typically from here, I will set my under eyes with the Coty Airspun powder. And I would usually just take my sponge that I did my foundation with, it's still a little bit damp, and press that into my under eye area. And this is not a brightening powder. This is just a translucent setting powder. So Melissa's tip is to start with a concealer that matches your skin tone. So again, I'm using the Pretty Fresh Concealer in Light 50W. Tap, 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 tap. And she says to blend a thin and even layer throughout the whole under eye area. And now we take the lighter concealer, just using the same Morphe one I used on this eye. And I'm gonna focus that one right in these hollower areas. So for me, it's like right here. And I've got some hollowness right here as well. All right, then we start blending by patting the product in. And then we sweep out toward the edge. I think it's also important to note that placement might vary depending on the shape of your eye. She really only placed it like right here. But like I said, I have some more hollowness than she does even at the edge of my eye. So now it's time to set the under eyes with a brightening powder. So Melissa used a more pink toned powder for her lighter skin. I'm gonna go in with a banana powder, which is brightening for medium skin tones. And I'm gonna press and sweep all under the under eye area. Okay, I'm done with both sides. I think they both look great, but I'm noticing something a little interesting. At first I was kind of like, you know, I like the side where I did my normal routine. It still looks brighter to me. However, I feel like it only looks brighter because I used the lighter concealer shade all over. But when I look at the side where I used Melissa's tips, I feel like I actually evened out the hollowness under my eyes, which is literally the whole point. See, to me, this side looks brighter but more sunken in, and this side looks more even. But you tell me, which side do you like better? All right, this next tip is again from Melissa. This one's all about contouring. Let's see what she has to say.
This spot right here is such an underrated contour spot. This is what I do on a lot of my clients because I hate that full stripe. It can look really unnatural. So instead, I like to just hit the hollow right in the center of the cheek and blend out.
So that's super interesting. Let me show you how I normally do my contour. So I'm using the ColourPop Bronze Sticks in Laguna Beach. And normally what I do is I draw a line from my hairline about to there. And then I take my sponge, which has a little bit of my foundation left on it, and I blend it out from there. And as I blend, I build up as well. This is a lighter contour shade for me personally. Bam, hello cheekbone. Now what Melissa suggests is contouring just like right here, right in that hollow area, not going all the way up, not going all the way in, just really concentrating it. And this is supposed to look more natural because you don't end up having just like that stripe. Okay, so I'm gonna do a second layer now, just like I did on the other side. I'm still like angling it up though, just wanna note that. And I am patting to blend, I'm not dragging. All right, so without putting on blush or highlight, what do you think? This one I'm actually a bit stumped on. Does this side of my face look a little more lifted? I almost feel like this side looks more chiseled. This side looks lifted. Is it just me? This next tip comes from makeup artist Jamie Greenberg. She's most well known for doing Kaylee Cuoco's makeup. She's from Big Bang Theory, as well as Rashida Jones. Let's see what she has to say about layering blush.
So this technique is called belayering. I take a powder blush, this is Crystal from Benefit, and I'm gonna place it right here on the high cheekbone. I'm gonna take a similar color, the coral one in Highlighter. The difference between these two is the first one's powder, the second one's cream. This is going to illuminate it. This is also gonna keep it on longer, and just gonna give it that perfect skin texture.
Okay, so I may have had to mute that or speed it up or something because there is music behind it and I don't want to get in trouble on YouTube. But basically what she's suggesting in a gist is applying cream blush on top of powder blush. And I found this really fascinating because I learned to do the opposite. If you really wanted your blush to last a long time, put powder over cream, but then obviously you do lose a little bit of that luminosity. So I have two very similar blush shades. I'm gonna start out with the ColourPop Between the Sheets, very iconic blush, and lightly dust that on. And this is a completely matte blush. There is no shimmer or sheen to it. And then on top of that, I'm gonna be putting the e.l.f. Luminous Putty Blush. This is in the shade Maui. And I'm also going to pick that up on a brush and pat that over the powder. And this does have like slight shimmer to it, but then you also get just the luminosity of the cream texture. Okay. Very interesting. I like this one. I've always been taught, don't put cream over powder, put powder over cream. And this is actually giving such a nice finish while amplifying the color. I realized that I just went in with the powder blush on this side and I probably should have put the cream underneath to really show you the difference in techniques. Brain fart moment. Okay, give me a second. Okay, now that I've reset this side of my makeup, let's start with the cream blush on this side. Gorgeous. Now let's top it with the powder, which would be sort of like setting it. Here's cream first, powder second. Here's powder first, cream second. There's a little more glow on this side, a little bit, for sure. It's just a bit duller on this side. Is it a huge difference? I don't know. This next tip was initially shared by another influencer named Ashley Dugan-Jurchak, but she got it from attending a seminar with a celebrity makeup artist, Ash K. Holm. Ash is the global celebrity makeup artist for the brand Buxom. She's done Megan Fox, Khloe Kardashian, Ariana Grande. And her tip has to do with cutting false lashes into corner lashes. Let's hear it.
Just learned this tip like an hour ago with celebrity makeup artist Ash K. Holm, who's a total rock star, by the way. She works on the Kardashians, J.Lo, Ariana. This tip in particular is for a half lash. Normally you would cut off like the end of the lashes down here. Anytime I've done a half lash, I've cut off this portion. She cuts off this portion, the inner portion, and then shifts that over. So the inner corner starts like on the mid-eye and goes out. I'm telling you, so much more natural.
So just to recap, in case you couldn't hear because there was music in that reel, a lot of people like to cut falsies just to become corner lashes so that you don't have like a full strip on and it just looks a little bit more flared out, a little more natural. But I would say most people would cut out the outer corner to place on the outer corner. And so Ash K. Holm's tip is to actually cut out the inner corner and put that on your outer corner. My scrunchie keeps falling out. So just FYI, I'm using the Kiss Lash Couture Naked Drama lash pack. So we have my lash here. This is the outer corner. I'm not sure if you can tell. This is the inner corner. Let's do like the first 4 notches so it's even. Okay, putting the glue on. Ew, what is wrong with this lash glue? This lash glue doesn't want to stick at all. What the? Okay, I broke out a new glue. This is still the Kiss Lash Couture, but it's like the brush on kind. I've tried 2 of their tubes recently and it's like a weird oily consistency that does not stick, but this should work. Outer corner to the outer corner, lining up as God intended. All right, now we got some stick. What was up with that other glue? Okay, so these are very dramatic lashes. This is definitely gonna illustrate the point even further in my opinion, but I am gonna go in and put a little more mascara on because it's a little crazy looking right now. That's an outer corner. I used the, I'm so ColourPop today. The ColourPop Level Up Mascara is what I used earlier. So let me just build that up a little bit in this middle section and inner corner. But I mean, that is quite a dramatic kind of drop off, but that's exactly what this hack is supposed to help avoid. So now I'm taking the inner corner of the lash, get that nice and glued up. Okay, so inner corner of the lash to the outer corner of my lash. Oh my gosh. Okay, this one, hands down a win. I mean, I don't even feel like I need to apply any more mascara to blend them. Hello? That's a great tip. I mean, this is why they're celebrity makeup artists, right? But this was a really good one to learn because I've preferred the outer corner lash look more and more recently versus doing a full strip lash. I also think that it just feels more lightweight. It feels more flexible on the lid. And this just unlocked so much potential for different styles of lashes that I have that, like, if I were to do what I was doing before, it'd look a little janky like this. And now this looks so much more natural. Can you believe that this is the same lash? Like it was actually the same singular lash. This next tip has to do with finishing up your lipstick. So first I gotta put some on. I'm using the Milani Color Fetish Matte Lipstick in Passion. And this last tip comes from makeup artist Alexis Oakley. She does a lot of really big social media stars, Trisha Paytas, Tana Mongeau, Michaela. But she also works with more traditional celebrities as well, like the Mahomes family and the Stallone family. So here is her lipstick trick.
I'm about to show you guys one of the easiest and quickest hacks to elevate your makeup and make it celebrity makeup artist approved. All I'm gonna do is take a tiny amount of concealer on a flat small brush and just use this to clean up the lip liner. I'm just drawing a precise line with the concealer directly on the outside of my lip liner, and this is gonna create the illusion of a lifted lip and just a cleaner look. I mean, honestly, I think that the results speak for themselves. This side just appears so much more lifted.
So I found this interesting because the only time I would think to put concealer around my lip line is if I smudged my lipstick and the color stained my skin, so I needed to like cover it up and kind of recreate that sharp lip line again. But she's suggesting to basically always do this as a finishing touch to lift the lips. So I'm taking that Morphe concealer once again, and the placement for this hack is just in the outer corner of the lips, like from here to here, around that corner. Okay, I'm just gonna blend it a little bit at the edge, but I'm keeping the line that's closest to my lips as pigmented as possible. Okay, what do we think? I mean, it's really simple. Do you think that it makes that much of a difference? I mean, this side definitely looks crisper than this side, that's for sure. And she was saying this is definitely more of like a photography makeup tip, that it ends up making your lips look better in photos. But she was making the argument that it makes them look a little more lifted. So what do we think? So here's the final side-by-side, my go-to makeup techniques versus makeup artists' techniques. Do you feel like there's one side that looks better as a whole, or do you feel like there were some techniques of mine that you preferred versus techniques of the makeup artists you preferred? I will tell you right now, the lash technique is definitely becoming a go-to. Also, the more I look in the mirror, the more I agree that like my bottom lip right here looks a little bit more lifted than this side. Today's shout out goes to Jessica. Thanks for being a member of the Slashed Squad, and join me over in this video next where I do a cool toned fall makeup look using all products $10 or under. I'll see you over there. Bye.